The future of gaming lies with virtual reality, and with the headsets becoming more and more optimized and affordable, we are starting to see them become a lot more popular. There are some extremely cool concepts for VR games out there, and where there is a game, there is always a speedrunner. VR speedrunning is at the moment still quite a small niche inside of the wider speedrunning community, but as we see the headsets becoming more popular, it is inevitable that the VR speedrunning community will continue to grow. One major difference between VR speedrunning compared to traditional speedrunning is definitely the physical aspect of it. Now speedrunning can legitimately become a decent way of getting some exercise into your day with games like Superhot where you have to be constantly moving. In this video we're going to have a bit of fun and take a look at 4 of my favourite VR speedruns and talk about some of the speedrunning tricks that they employ in order to beat their games as fast as possible. And then we'll conclude with a little montage at the end of the video of some other VR speedruns that I've enjoyed watching while making this video. Don't forget to click the like button on the video as it does actually help to push it out to a wider audience, which is a great help for smaller channels such as myself, and make sure you subscribe to see more speedrunning content like this in the future. So if you are sitting comfortably, my name is JoeyBay, let's take a look at some VR speedruns. In Superhot VR, time moves when you move, so there's no time to relax. Even if there's nothing happening on the screen, you still have to keep something moving as fast as possible to keep time moving forward. This results in around 7.5 minutes of constant action, with only a small few seconds of a break between levels to catch your breath. The way that the levels work in Superhot is you are thrown into a level with enemies running or shooting at you, and you are usually also given some sort of prop, like a gun or a knife, or in some cases you just have to dodge everything thrown at you and punch the enemies to kill them. For example, in this level, you spawn in with 3 enemies running towards you, and are given 3 throwing stars to kill them. And it's incredible to see here how fast Trickster00 can pick them up and throw them in the perfect direction first try. Superhot VR really showcases how good aim is important for virtual reality speedrunning. Once you have beaten the level, a pyramid will appear in front of you, and you have to grab it in order to teleport to the next level. This means that it's pretty much impossible to find a way to skip levels in the speedrun, as you have to kill all the enemies for the pyramid to appear. However, speedrunners still came up with a way to speed some levels up, using a trick called the Gunshow Loophole. As I just mentioned, in some levels you will be given a gun, however when you grab the pyramid to end the level, any props you are holding in either hand will disappear to make sure that you only use the props you're supposed to in the next level. However, when you grab the pyramid, there is a very small period of time where the level transitions, and if you are able to grab the gun during this transitional phase, you are able to carry it over to the next level. A great use of it in the speedrun comes in this level, where you normally have to punch the first guy to get his knife, which you then throw at the second enemy before grabbing the gun to shoot the third enemy. However, here we see Trickster pick up the pistol in the previous level, before performing the Gunshow Loophole to bring it through with him, allowing him to easily and quickly take down the 3 enemies. Apart from the Gunshow Loophole, there isn't any other exploits in the game, you are simply left down to your quick reactions and incredible aiming ability. Have you ever been sat at work thinking, God, I wish I was at home speedrunning right now? Well, why not do both at the same time? In Job Simulator, you work as a chef, a shop assistant, an office worker, and a car mechanic. While working as an office worker, you are given tasks to complete, after each of which you must pull out a fax from the machine in order for the computer to give you the next task to do. At the start of the job, you must pull out a fax straight away before you are tasked with making yourself a coffee and eating a donut, before pulling the fax out again to move on to the next task, which is to plug in the computer and delete all your emails, which causes a sequence to play where you talk to Supervisor Bot. However, speedrunners do it slightly differently. Upon entering the office, speedrunners will drink a coffee and delete all the emails before even pulling out the first fax. Then when they do, the donut box will appear, and upon eating the donut, the game will instantly put them into the sequence with the Supervisor Bot, saving having to do any of the tasks in order, and only meaning you have to pull out the fax once rather than twice. Certainly an interesting way of saving a couple of seconds. The rest of the job, however, you have to just sit and do the tasks as they come, with some spare waiting time where you can do whatever you want, such as photocopy bags of Doritos. Sorry, triangles. But there's also quite an interesting trick when you work as the store clerk, known as pie skip. Not because you skip selling a pie or anything, but because it was discovered by a prominent Job Simulator speedrunner back a few years ago by the name of iPie4Fun. Once you have served a customer, they will give you money which you must place into the till, but once you close the till, the money will disappear. However, Pi discovered that you could actually place the money into the drawer without even opening it, and as the money only disappears upon closing the till, you can actually grab that money straight back out of the till. In the speedrun, the runners will take the money from the first customer and perform the pie skip trick by placing the money into the till and then removing it, thus completing the sale but keeping the dollar. Then when the next customer to pay with a dollar comes along, they will give the customer all the items they require before performing pie skip, meaning that they don't have to wait for the customer to pay to advance the game forwards. There are some customers that this doesn't work on, however, such as the old lady, who always pays with a check, not with a dollar, and you must place the check into the till. Again, another interesting way of saving just a few seconds here and there. In Doom VFR, when controlling the character using the thumbsticks, you are actually controlling a physical in-game character that interacts with the environment. However, what you see with your own eyes is actually only a camera, not attached to the playable character. If you were to stand next to a wall in-game and move your real-life head forward, your camera would go straight through the wall. However, the actual playable character would remain fully inside of the environment, preventing the player from just sticking their head through the wall and then using the movement in order to keep the character out of bounds. However, as always, speedrunners have developed a clever workaround for this problem in the name of switch walking. When turning around in game, you can either do it by turning around in real life, or you can use one of the thumbsticks to turn yourself a certain amount. You can also create a bind that spins you a perfect 180 degrees, and it is this feature that is abused to get out of bounds. If the player stands next to a wall, as I mentioned earlier, they can move their head in real life to see past the wall, leaving the playable character in bounds. If you then use the 180 degree turn bind, the camera and in-game character will become slightly desynced, and the camera will move forward. You can then turn around, lean forward, and hit the 180 degree turn bind once again in order to move the camera further forward. All the while, however, your physical character is in fact still in bounds, as it is only the camera that you are moving. So you may think that this is essentially pointless, as being able to see out of bounds means nothing if your actual character isn't there, right? Well, as luck would have it, in Doom VFR, the camera itself is able to hit portals and checkpoint triggers. This means that with good aim, you are able to switch walk your way through the boundaries of the room you're in, all the way to the level ending checkpoint, without your character ever leaving the room you started in. Now, as I just mentioned, the camera can hit not just checkpoint triggers, but it can also hit portals, used to teleport the character to a different location, as Meta demonstrates here in his tutorial video for switch walking and this glitch, phasing.
So here we are in the tutorial room. I think this is the best place to show phasing because it's the most useful here. There's a small wall right here. Behind it is a portal. So if we just make sure in game we're as close to it as we can be, and then I'm just gonna face this way because this is where I have the most space in real life. I'm gonna 180 in game just so I'm facing the wall, and then I'm gonna walk forward in real life, and we hit the portal. So there we are. That's phasing. All it is basically walking through walls, and that's why we call it phasing.
In HalfLife Alyx, speedrunners employ a slightly different method of getting themselves out of the playable area. One way to move in HalfLife Alyx is to use the teleport feature, which when held down will show you exactly where you are going to move to, and then when you let go of the button, you move quickly towards that location. However, moving from where you are stood to where you are about to teleport to isn't actually instant. It takes a very small amount of time to transport you there. And if you were to pause the game mid-teleport, then move your head forward in real life and then unpause, the game will still teleport you forward the amount of distance that was left when you paused, completely ignoring any walls or boundaries, allowing the speedrunner to get out of the playable area. This trick is called an extended jump, and it is used frequently throughout the speedrun. Another trick used in the speedrun is a zero zip. By confusing the game by spamming an immense amount of jump inputs very quickly, it causes the game to freak out and teleport the player to the map's origin coordinates of 000, hence the name Zero Zip. One interesting example of these tricks being used is in Chapter 7. Upon entering the level, the speedrunners will use the Zero Zip trick in order to teleport out of bounds. Now, once out of bounds, if you were to use the in-game controls to move, your character would instantly fall into the void. So the solution is instead to move yourself forward in real life, then turn the camera around 180 degrees, walk backwards in real life, turn 180 degrees again, walk forwards, and so on, ultimately allowing the runner to make their way over to the part of the level they want to return back into without using the in-game controls. Once arriving at the place where they would like to get back in bounds, the runner will then use an extended jump in order to get themselves back inside of the level, before running straight to the end. The entirety of Chapter 7 in the world record speedrun by Lemmons takes a grand total of 36 seconds, and you can really see how he's mastered these tricks.
There's definitely a bunch of old bottles in here. Does alcohol go bad?
It only improves. It's all good, Alex.
Now of course there's loads of cool virtual reality games out there, so I'm going to leave you with a short montage of some games I didn't mention, but enjoyed watching while researching into VR speedrunning. Just before I go, however, I want to just say a huge thank you to every person featured in this video for pointing me in the right direction and helping me to understand and explain everything, and for granting me permission to use their footage in my video. Everything is of course linked in the description, so you should definitely go follow these speedrunners and games, and of course leave a like on this video to help me out, and subscribe to see my future speedrunning content.
You guys think a 3x? So 141 is already pretty, or 240. What is it? It is a 141, isn't it?
142, 141, yeah. Yeah, it's 141.
Okay.